Well, I'm just going to go for it. Is today the day that I show you, that I explain to you the best I can how to get a set of plans for your house? I've been threatening to do this on a couple different videos, and if you've been watching all my videos on my channel, you might have come up with once or twice where I've said, hey, I'll show you how to get a free set of plans for your house, even if you don't have a set of plans for your house. No matter if your house is 10 years old, 15 years old, 50 years old. Guess what? If you don't have a set of plans, can you get a set of plans? I'm saying yes, you can. Yes. Now, let me explain this a little bit. Here, I've got a set of plans in here, and I got these plans for this house that we purchased about 1.5 years ago, and the realtor that we had, she asked the other realtor who was representing the owner, hey, ask the owner if they got a set of plans. Well, they just happen to have a set of plans. And when I looked at the plans, it looks like a pretty full sheet. And there's A sheets, and they go to A9, A10, D1, which is detail sheets, ME1 and ME2, which is mechanical electrical, SP1, which is specification sheet 1. And we asked for that set of plans before we purchased the house. We said, hey, we want to have a copy of the plans. And actually, she didn't give us the right ones. We asked. We said, hey, we're buying this house. We want the actual as-built plans, the ones with the permit number on it, the ones with all the change orders on it, the ones that have been signed off at the city inspection department. We want that set of plans. Well, she didn't give us that set of plans. All she gave us was a set of plans that the owner had as a copy of everything for their house. And so we ran into some different issues with the house, and I thought, you know what? I want the actual copy of the as-built plans that were submitted to the building department, the city or county, wherever you're at, the building department. They'll have a complete set of plans. They'll see when the house was built. It'll show on that all of the sign-offs and make sure that the permit has actually been signed off and all of that kind of stuff. Then you can see all of the things that were initially shown on the house plans. And if you see anything else different, then, if you have that set of plans, then you can see, hey, it's not showing the outside deck, it's not showing the pool, it's not showing this, it's not showing that. Well, that would tell you those things were added later, and you can find out, you can have copies of all that stuff too. Very simple. You know how? Well, here's how. And this might be worth a lot of money to you, just knowing this. You go down to your building department, and you can do this even if you don't own the house, I think, yet. You can go down to the building department and you can ask them if you have the address to the house. You go down to the building department and you tell them you want to have a copy of the plans, all of the records for a certain property. You give them the address, you sign a sheet for it, and they go back into their records and they find what you have asked them to do, and then they call you back and you have to come back and pick them up. It's not something that you can get in a day or anything. It used to be where they would have everything on microfiche, and they might say, oh yeah, you have to go down to a different address, you have to go down into our basement of our building, and you have to go down to the basement and you have to ask for this and that, and they'll show you the address, and you get the microfiche, and then you slide all these different slides through this microfiche little contraption and slide the thing around and find the different sheets that you want and tell them, okay, I want this sheet, I want this sheet, I want this sheet, and then you pay for them to copy those sheets for you, and away you go. Well, some places might do that now, but because of computers and everything else nowadays, it might be something as simple as you just giving them the information, filling out a form, and then they come back later and they'll call you, and kaboom! This is what I did. This is what I did for this house. I went back down, they told me everything was ready, and they had it on a disc. It was just a round little disc that you can put into your computer, and it showed everything on this property. It showed the initial plans, and it showed when the permit was taken out, and it showed when it was signed off, and it also showed on there all of the information, every single page of the plans. You flip through it, and then it showed all the details on there, the whole set of plans, the sign-off sheets, any notes that the inspector had written on the plans, any additions or deletions that the contractor put on the set of as-built plans that the building department had, so that the inspector would sign off everything. And it will show you the permit card that's been signed off. It'll show you whether or not the permit was ever signed off. It'll also show you then on this information that you get from the building department, it'll also show you anything else that was done to the building, the house, whether or not a permit was taken out for a pool, whether or not a permit was taken out for a room addition, for a kitchen remodel, for a bathroom addition, for a deck addition, for a water heater replacement, for an air conditioner replacement, anything that needed to take a permit, or if a remodel was done and they needed to add 3 electrical circuits, there would be a miscellaneous electrical permit, a miscellaneous plumbing permit, a miscellaneous mechanical permit. If they added a new air conditioner heating unit, if they added a water heater, that you would have a miscellaneous plumbing permit for the new hot water heater that got replaced 2 years ago that you didn't know about. And then they'll have sheets, they'll have permit applications, the permit sign-off sheet, the actual permit card, the sign-off card, all that kind of stuff you can get. And you know how much that disc cost me at the building department? I says, okay, how much is this going to cost me? And she said $1. I said, excuse me? Yep, that's all it cost, was $1. She had to go through all that information for me after I filled out the request sheet with my name and the address and all that kind of stuff on there. I had to come back. She had it ready, I don't know, within the same week, I think it was. And she contacted me, said, okay, everything's ready to pick up. I had to go back down there, went and saw her, had to sign off, had to pay her the $1, and she gave me the disc to put in the computer. And so all the information was on that. So then, if you want a complete set of plans, or maybe you only want a front sheet or the back sheet, or I just want the electrical sheet, or whatever sheet you want, you can take that disc and you take it down to a blueprinter store. Just Google, drawings or blueprint company, something. Google it, and you'll find some place, or a printing shop. Any sort of printing shop would probably do it. And then you can take it over to them and you can tell them which sheets. Now, if you want the complete plans and you don't care about the permit cards and all that, you still have all that information on your disc that you got from the building department. But if you want the actual copies of all that kind of stuff, you can get copies too. They'll print you out whatever you want. Then you're going to have to pay them per sheet for the drawings, depending on how big the drawing pages are and stuff. You could buy all those sheets. That might cost you $2-3 per sheet, and if you got 20 sheets at $3 a sheet, that could be $60. You know what I mean? Anything like that, or if you don't want plans to go back to, anytime you want to look at your drawing, you have to get out your little disc that you got from the building department, and then you can peruse that and take a look at that whenever you need to. Okay, so that is a good way to get plans. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait, especially if you're buying a house. Let's say before you even purchase the house, you can get those plans. If your realtor cannot find the plans, you know how to do it. Go down to the building department, get the plans. Don't close escrow until you look at the exact plans, the as-built plans of all the history that is on that piece of property, so that you know what you're paying for and what you're not paying for, and the liabilities you're going to have if you buy something that was never inspected on the room addition or the kitchen remodel or whatever it is that you want to know for that house. And maybe you find out there's certain things that were never permitted, and maybe you can get the house. Maybe if you're still interested in the house, you can bargain and you can tell the seller, hey, I know for a fact, and here it is on the drawings, that your deck was never built with a permit, or the pool wasn't built with a permit, or this or that, or whatever. And because of that, I'm not going to pay you top dollar for what you want. I'm going to offer you $20,000 less for this house because of that, because now I know that when I sell the house, I may have the same questions that the next potential buyers is going to want to know. Hey, where's all the as-built plans, and where's the permits, sign-offs, and all that kind of stuff? Now it's your problem. You know what I mean? So this could be something that's very beneficial to you moving forward, especially if you're purchasing a house. If you've already had the house and you still want it, hey, I would highly recommend still going down to the building department and going through the headaches. It's not that big of a deal to do that, and to get yourself that disc or whatever your building department. Maybe your building department doesn't give you a disc. Maybe they do it a slightly different way. Go down to your local building department and find out. If you don't know, maybe you live in a county, maybe you have to go to the county building department. Or maybe they say, maybe when you get to there, they say, what's your address? And you punch it all in. Oh, no, that's not here. That's the city building department. You have to go to the city building department. Or maybe the county and the city building department are all located at the same building. Or maybe there's only one building department, and that's for the city and the county in which you live. You just don't know. You just have to go out there and find out, and people will direct you where you need to go, where you need to ask. You don't go to the building department. You have to go to the records department, and here's their address, or here you have to go up to the 7th floor and go over there and ask for the blah 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 blah. Whatever you have to do. Every building department is different. Okay. But rest assured, you too can get yourself a set of plans for your house, no matter how old it is. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.